is it? Answer your phone, son. This is your boy, man.
Hi, welcome to our second episode of Live with Barb and Ray.
I'm Barb.
And I'm Ray. So today we have our baseball hats on. It is opening week of baseball.
It is.
And I see you are wearing a Tampa Bay hat. Why the heck would you be wearing a Tampa Bay hat when we are in Anaheim?
I know. I'm not even from Florida. So fun fact is that my son plays in the Tampa Bay Rays minor league system. And so I'm kind of forced to be a Tampa Bay Ray fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do like
I even wear it to Angel games.
It says Ray on the back of it. So I like that part of it.
He thinks I just wore this hat for him.
And actually, I don't even like baseball. I was just forced to wear it. I wanted to wear my Ryan Getzlaf signed Ducks hat.
Who watches hockey?
Everybody. Hockey is, we're not even going to go there. We won't go there.
We are across the street from Anaheim Stadium, Angel Stadium.
And Honda Center.
Down the street from Honda Center. Okay, okay. I'll let you be a Ducks fan.
So what are we talking about today?
We got lots of things to talk about today, but we have a special guest coming this afternoon.
We have Tim Shaw. Tim Shaw is our Government Affairs Director, and I think that'll be very informative for everyone just to meet Tim and know what he does for us.
Absolutely. But first we need to start with our advertising video. Did you all watch it? How many people do you think watched it?
I think we had a lot of views. I think we are YouTube sensations.
Ooh, we're YouTube stars. So we got a lot of great feedback about that video. If you haven't watched it, you definitely need to. Ray and I talked about all the new advertising laws that came down from the state of California. And some of the biggest feedback that we got is that our members thought the new advertising rules only applied to teams.
Yeah. And I think that's a big one that I think we even harped on it when we did the video.
We did.
That this isn't just teams, it's individual realtors. You need to make sure everyone knows who your broker is.
Absolutely.
Not this big, but the same size as your name.
Absolutely. And the biggest feedback I got was social media. You know, a lot of our members don't realize that it really applies to social media, and our professional standards department is inundated right now with complaints about realtors that are marketing themselves and property on social media and not putting their company and their license number. So, you know, I've been telling all the agents that I talk to, it's okay to use hashtags. It's okay to put license number, but you have to identify your company and your license in all advertising you do, including social media, Instagram, Facebook, everything.
So is this like our second, our third, our fourth reminder to everybody? Like, post on Facebook all you want, post a picture of a house, but put your information on there, your DRE number, BRE number, whatever it is. I'm always confused with that. And put all your information, your brokerage, and make sure the public knows from any Facebook post who you work for.
Who your broker is.
Yep, it's as simple as that. And I know the association really is kind of backlogged on trying to keep up with it. So help us out and do it right.
Behave.
Behave out there. So that's our advertising video. I have a joke of the day that I wanted to tell you.
Joke of the day.
And I haven't told you the joke yet, so we can get some genuine reactions, and our audience can laugh too if they want. So there's a top producing real estate agent. I'm just going to read it. He was strolling down the beach when he found an old lamp. Ever the optimist, he started rubbing the lamp, and lo and behold, a genie appeared before him. I will grant you 3 wishes, but since you're a real estate agent and need to learn humility for every wish you are granted, your biggest rival agent will get double whatever you wish for.
Ooh.
The agent thought long and hard and finally accepted the genie's offer. I wish for $10 million.
I can do a lot with $10 million.
Yep, your wish is granted. You now have $10 million. Your rival has $20 million. I wish for a vintage Ferrari. Your wish is granted. You now have a vintage Ferrari, and your fiercest rival now has 2 vintage Ferraris. You have now used, well, you'll see. You have now used 2 wishes, and you have 1 left. Choose wisely. What is your final wish? I wish I could donate a kidney. So that's my real estate joke for the day.
Good job, Ray.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, Ray gets all the fun stuff, and I get to talk about the serious stuff. So have you heard about the new forms that CAR is coming out with in June?
Are we talking about real forms?
Real forms.
If you didn't see episode 1, you got to go back and check out our forms.
Real new forms.
Okay.
And I'm actually really excited about these.
Okay.
So guys, remember, CAR does a lot for us to help us stay out of trouble and cover our rear ends. And they have 2 really great new forms. One is called the DIA, the Disclosure Information Advisory. And how many times do your clients call you because they don't know how to fill out their disclosures properly?
All the time.
Right? And a lot of legal opinions is that we shouldn't fill them out with them because it can be construed that we're telling them what to put on their disclosures, right? So CAR came out with this great new advisory that tells our clients how to complete the disclosures. It talks about don't leave anything blank. It talks about if you don't know, the answer is no. It talks about how to complete the TDS, how to complete the SPQ. I am really, really, really excited about this one, and it comes out in June.
Okay.
It's going to be useful, right?
That'll be a good one.
The other one that's coming out that I'm probably more excited about is Homeowners Association Advisory, the BHAA. And this one tells our clients about their HOA documents. It tells them everything that should be in there, everything they should look for, but most importantly, it tells them that real estate licensees who forward HOA documentation to them have not read or reviewed those documents.
Okay, good.
That's really good.
Yeah. We don't want the liability of that coming back on us, so that's a good form for sure.
Absolutely. So when these come out in June, guys, make sure you check them out, download them. They'll be in zip forms. You'll have the opportunity to use them, and I highly recommend that you use these forms. I know I definitely will be.
So it's just two new forms.
Well, there's a couple other ones, but those are the 2 that would apply most to our members.
Okay, so the RBF form isn't being released
The
yet?
RBF form is not being released.
All right.
No.
All right, so one thing I wanted to share with you is we're all on Facebook a lot, and we all see the realtor memes. You know what a meme is?
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a few funny ones that I just thought would apply
Again, you get the funny
to
stuff.
us. Yep. So I went on. There's a website called Lighter Side of Real Estate.
Okay.
And they are. They just do a lot of memes and a lot of funny things, and so I got permission to use some of their memes.
Okay.
And so here's a few that I thought were kind of nice. This is actually my favorite. This is Leonardo DiCaprio from Wolf of Wall Street, one of my favorite movies. And don't call me overpaid just because I sold your home fast. That's exactly what you wanted.
Isn't that the truth?
It is the truth. And even on the website, they had underneath it, it said, I could even argue that I deserve a bonus. So I thought that was a good one.
I agree.
So
good for you.
I think this next one is the one that I thought you'd like. There's no crying in real estate, but you can whine.
Are you trying to say that I like wine?
I'm saying all realtors like wine. So I thought that was a cool one. I'm a big Matrix fan, so this one I think we can all apply it. We can all relate to with buyers nowadays. What if I told you that the home you saw today and want to think about tonight will sell today to the people who saw it yesterday and thought about it last night?
That's not a meme. I say that all the time.
Think about that. Let that sink in for a minute, though.
You don't use that line?
Yeah,
you
I
should.
use it all the time.
Yeah.
Because how many of us have had those buyers that say, think about it, and the next day there's 4 offers
Absolutely.
on it. If they had jumped on it the day before, they'd be all good. And Back to the Future, another one of my favorite movies of all time. Doc, we've gone back in time. No, Marty, Zillow just hasn't updated the listings.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, so that's
my favorite.
That's another
good job,
one.
Ray.
So the Lighter Side of Real Estate gave us permission. Check out their website. They have a lot of good stuff on there.
Speaking of online and social media, do you know PWR has a new Instagram account?
I did not.
Yeah, we did not have an Instagram account before, and we have a new Instagram account. And there's 2 hashtags that are really interesting on our new Instagram account.
Okay, what are they?
One is, well, it's not on our Instagram account, it's actually on my Instagram account, hashtag PWR President. Follow, do you know you can follow hashtags on Instagram now? And they'll show up in your feed.
I'm really not that good with Instagram.
Well, you need to improve.
I know.
I'll help you.
I think we all, as realtors, need to improve with our social media.
I'll help you.
Okay.
So follow hashtag PWR President. And what I'm doing is, as I'm out and about in the industry and as I'm out and about at events, I'm adding the hashtag PWR President to all of my posts so that our members can see what we're doing at the association when we travel, what we're doing when we go to Sacramento in a few weeks. Ray and I will be in DC, we'll be in Boston at NAR, and so if you want to see behind the scenes of what's going on out in the industry and what we're doing to represent our members, follow that hashtag. And my other favorite one that our marketing department came up with is hashtag PWR Realtor Life. They want you to add that to your Instagram posts, and you could be featured on our PWR social media account, and who knows, you might be featured on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And actually talking about featured on the show, in our last episode, we told the funny story, and we asked anybody that was watching to submit their funny story.
We did.
So
we got a good one.
We did get a good one, and the story we came in from Carolyn Nigbor from TNG. She's from my brokerage, and it was a pretty good story. It was a long story, so I'm going to summarize it a little bit. She was showing a property, and the listing agent had asked her to not go in the upstairs bathroom because they were going to put their dog in the upstairs bathroom. So when she gets to the house, she said she opens the front door and water is pouring through the ceiling.
That's a realtor's worst nightmare.
Yeah, water, and she said she was just going to close the door and call the agent and leave, but as she goes to close the door, water's coming down the stairway too. She can hear the dog upstairs barking, so she worries, is something wrong with the dog? So she proceeds to walk up the waterfall that's coming down the stairway, and the dog is inside the bathroom. She opens the door, and there's a bulldog sitting on top of the toilet, and the bulldog had chewed through the toilet supply line. And she said when she opened the door, a flood came through because it had been trying to get through. So water comes pouring out. Dog now goes running down the stairs and running out of the house.
I know what it's like to run after a dog. The dog chased me.
Yeah, it was
a little different, but she chased the dog.
Yeah, so she had to go chasing the dog. She said she slipped trying to go down the stairs. They had to go try to find the water shut off. So can you imagine that day? That would be...
I just want to know, did she find the dog?
She found the dog. Everything worked out, but that's a stressful day.
That is
I'm
a
sure
stressful
that
day.
You're freaking out, but a good story to tell later.
You know what? Those are the things that our clients don't know that we do, right? We
Yep.
save dogs.
We save dogs.
We stop water.
And we save your houses from torrential disaster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so good job, Carolyn. So Carolyn actually gets, I think it was a $50 gift certificate to our PWR store. If you have any other stories you want to submit them, because we're going to start doing this monthly. And
absolutely, you can be featured.
We'll be featuring you.
So, you know, Ray, I'm wondering, have you ever wondered what kids think about real estate?
Yeah, all the time. My kids are crazy too, and
I mean, what do you think they would say about how much their parents' house costs?
Probably $10. Who knows?
$10, you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
So
let's find out.
Let's find out.
How old do you have to be to buy a house?
Probably 23. 7? Maybe like 30. 74. 4? 25. I'm close to my grandpa and he's 63. 100 years old.
How much do you think your mommy and daddy's house cost?
$20,000. Like this big? $105. The pool about more than 50 feet. Probably 30 pounds.
How big do you think your house is?
20,000 feet long and tall. Like an airplane. 7,000. I don't know. About 1,000.
How old is your house?
So it's so big, well, I can't. It's so old, well, 89 years old. I like it though, well, it has cool toys. Well, it has a Batman toy and old. A Batman brand new Bat headquarters and a brand new super headquarters. 100 years old. And a Bat chopper and was wearing my toy box. 7. 8.
If you could have any house in the world, what house would you want?
A house that has a lot of stairs. I love stairs. A 2-story house. A gingerbread one. Empty headers because they have a Pittman headquarters toy because I like it because I really want to live there. A fancy house.
What does a fancy house look like?
A hotel.
When you get big one day, do you want to be a real estate agent? What do you want to do to make money when you get older?
Put out fires.
When you get big one day, do you want to be a real estate agent like me? What do you want to do when you grow up to make money?
Work at a grocery store and get thousands of dollars.
When you get big one day, do you want to be a real estate agent like me? What do you want to do when you get big one day?
Be a veterinarian.
When you get big one day, do you want to be a real estate agent?
No.
What do you want to do when you get big one day?
I want to be a dance teacher.
When you get big one day, do you want to be a real estate agent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
When you get big one day, what do you want to do?
Color.
You want to color when you get big one day?
Yeah.
What do you want to do for work?
Go in the airplane.
Hi everyone, we have our special guest with us here today. We have Tim Shaw, who is the Government Affairs Director at our association. Welcome, Tim.
Hi, good to be here.
So it looks like you're an Angels fan.
It's true.
He's a real Angels fan, unlike this one.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't care, I'll admit it.
He's a fake Angels fan.
He's an imposter.
He's an imposter. He's really a Ducks fan. You're the true Angels fan. Who's your favorite player?
Oh, hard to dislike Mike Trout, I guess.
He even wore his Angels tie.
I know. He's
So
not messing around. All right, Tim, let's get into it. So,
All right.
The one thing we love about you at the association is we honestly love poking fun at Tim Shaw, because Tim is a super fun guy to be around, does an incredible job, but he's really worried about what we're going to do to him today. There's that laugh.
I just saw a bead
There's
of
that
sweat.
laugh. Did you come down? So Tim, I was here the other day at some meetings, and you asked me to go upstairs to your office to sign something.
It's true.
And so I did. And when I was upstairs, I saw something extremely frightening. We need to show our viewers what I saw.
Oh, yes indeed.
What are those?
Were we talking about President Reagan or, my business
No,
cards?
those. What are those foreign things? Do you see the amount of Rolodexes?
I've never seen one of those
I believe
before.
they're called Rolodexes.
Oh.
Rolodex.
Yes.
I think there's 7 of them?
6. I got 6
Why?
Well, I'll tell you. Before I came to work here, I worked for a politician, a state senator. And what you do is you go out and you go to events for them. So you trade business cards. And
Of course.
So I got a lot of those
It's called
going
networking.
on. Yes, networking. And I had an intern back then who was kind enough to keep them very organized, and they're alphabetized. And
Okay.
and this was 10, 12 years ago, right? So I've just never had, they did scan them in and they are in my Outlook contacts. So
That's very comforting to know.
I do have them electronically, but I never had the heart to throw them all away. That was quite a bit of work to do that.
I was just going to say, I think there's an app for that. You can just have it right there.
But that will never break.
Yeah.
The best thing about Tim Shaw is that infectious laugh. Did you hear it? Do you remember episode 1? Where
Mine's better.
It is better.
All right. Moving on to the important question. So you are the Government Affairs Director here at PWR, otherwise known as a GAD. What exactly does a Government Affairs Director do?
That is a good question. I'm still trying to figure it out. No, we do all things related to the government and politics, both, because they do intersect. So as the local association, I'm trying to interact with our local government, the counties and cities. So we have quite a number of cities in Pacific West Territory. And we want to make sure the government's not in the way of realtors being successful. So a lot of what we've been doing is, believe it or not, it's kind of mundane, but sign ordinances. We want to make sure a realtor can put up their open house sign. So working with cities that when they're rewriting their sign ordinance to make sure we can still put up open house signs, and other just housing policies, rent control, inclusionary zoning, things like that we feel would be bad for a real estate market. We make sure hopefully local government doesn't do any of those things.
Really important stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the realtors have a lot to thank you for.
I think so.
That you can put out your signs.
Yeah. And I think people don't realize how important, and people don't even realize what you do. You have one of the more important jobs at our association. I definitely thank you on behalf of all realtors for everything you do.
My pleasure.
Send them notes.
Yeah.
So what are you working on right now for the association as it's coming up to spring elections?
Yep, so we do get involved in elections. So a couple of cities of ours, Long Beach and Whittier, hold their city council elections in kind of a funny time. It'll be here April 10th. So, you know, as when we do the politics, we try to get behind candidates who we think are going to be good for our industry. So we have a written questionnaire we make candidates fill out, and sometimes we'll even interview them in here, and then we contribute to them from our PAC funds and hopefully make sure that they win. So Long Beach and Whittier City Council elections are coming up here April 10th.
So you're very busy involved in those right now.
Yep, we're busy with that. And as well, I can mention one of our congressmen, Ed Royce, has said he's not going to run for re-election. So our national association makes the decision on who to support for federal races, but they like to have the local association's input. So here real soon we're going to have interviews with the candidates who are running for that congressional seat, and we will kind of, based on that, tell the National Association who we liked.
That is really interesting, because I know that's one of the things that I learned when I joined the board and got more involved, is that this even existed. And there's something else that's important to talk about with the candidates is our LCRC committee. Why don't you share with our members that we actually have a committee that helps select those candidates?
So in our parlance, as you mentioned, LCRC is the Local Candidate Recommendation Committee. So with that, we have the funds that our members are generous enough to contribute to, and with those dollars, we're able to contribute to candidates that we like. So we have a special committee, the LCRC committee, that will review the candidates' questionnaire. Sometimes, you know, we'll interview them, and then decide how to use those dollars, contribute to, you know, different candidates running for different offices.
Great, thanks for that explanation. And you mentioned our PAC multiple times, and the members contributing money. We know that affectionately as our PAC. I think a lot of our members don't know what our PAC is, or what it does, or why it's so important. So can you share with them? Yeah,
the Realtor Political Action Committee, or locally we'll talk about the Realtor Action Fund. So you probably see in your dues billing that some of your payment that you're making is going towards that. And you're always welcome, and we encourage you to contribute even at a higher level as much as you'd like. So they have different levels of giving, but with those dollars we break them into kind of different buckets. One to support the candidates, as I mentioned. The other bucket to support issues. So if something like we have rent control coming up in Long Beach, so with our issues dollars, we can fight that issue or other bad issues that come up. So that's the issues and the candidates.
And if our members haven't contributed yet this year, or after hearing all the great things that go on with our PAC and the funds that we use it for, they can come into the association, go online.
They can do that. RealtorParty.com is the website for the, you know, so you'll see at the National Association, and anything coming in here in person, any number of ways.
I kind of want to put it out there, and now that you guys have learned a little bit about this, let's see if some people will actually step up and in the comments below this video say, you know what, I'm going to go to the website and I'm going to contribute $100, or I'm going to contribute $50 or $20, whatever it might be, because every little bit is really important, especially rent control coming up in Long Beach right now, guys. This is huge for us, and it's costing a lot of money to fight this battle, and the more money we have, the better.
Absolutely. The money goes to very good use. And, you know, Ray and I want you to know, as leaders of the association, we are both Sterling R members, which means we've donated $1,000 to our PAC out of our own personal funds. And that's not just because we want the title of Sterling R. It's because we know what this money does and how important it is. And we've learned all the things that our association, the state association, and the national association are doing with those funds to help not only us as realtors, but the clients that we serve. So thanks for sharing that information.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here today. We love giving our members a behind the scenes look at our staff, our amazing staff here at the association. So we want to thank you again for being here today. All right, as we wrap up today, we want to make sure we remind our viewers to subscribe to our PWR YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking on the logo on the screen, and make sure to check out the advertising video that Ray and I did. We talked about that earlier in our episode. Make sure you watch it. It's full of great information regarding the new advertising laws with regards to the state.
Thank you for tuning in, and again, stay classy out there, PWR.